What's happening, everyone? My name's Anton, owner of VAG Recycle, and today I'm back with another video. Just a little update basically. As you can tell by the smile on my face, it is something exciting. I finally got the R32 Turbo up and running. Well, it's running. It's not up and running, it's running. It doesn't drive, but you know, it's a start. So anyway, yeah, I'll go a bit more into depth, talk about my issues and the problems that I faced after this, so stay tuned. So, as I said, the R32 Turbo is now running. And what a pain in the backside this has been. So, long story short, this R32 Turbo engine is out of another car. This engine is running EMU Black standalone management, which I know nothing about. So when I removed the engine from the original car, I set about labeling every single wire that I removed from the ECU. So when I put it in the other car, it was a simple put it back and everything could be all right. How wrong I was. So basically, EMU Black, they do a plug and play adapter for the R32 engine. And this car never came with it. Well, this engine, that never had it. It was all done by one of the previous owners, not the last owner, one of the previous owners. So, like I said, long story short, I pulled it all out, put it all in, put all the pins back to where I thought they should have went, and the car didn't start. Now, at this point, I should mention, I actually decided to rewire the engine loom. Just because this car has got a smoothed bay. So I would have needed to extend all the wiring anyway. The wiring for the original harness was a joke, basically. It wasn't, I mean, it ran, but I wasn't happy with it. So yeah, I set about redoing it. And if you come here, I'll show you. So all this, I've done all this, all new injector wiring. There's all like this braided material over each the wiring. It's all been extended. All the knock sensors, the cam sensors, everything. I've redone all of that, and it's running now under the leg, up the wing, and into the car. I must admit, at the moment it's not very tidy because I've had to pull it apart to find out why it wouldn't start. So anyway, yeah, so I redid the wiring, and I thought I'd, because EMU Black do a plug and play adapter, they've actually got a pin out sheet that you can follow. So it says, pin, G25 on, which is referring to the EMU Black standalone, goes to pin whatever on the standard ECU. So, pretty much straightforward, like pretty hard to go wrong. So yeah, so I followed that diagram down to a T, set about putting it all together, put it all in, got some power to it, and it would not start. Checked a few wires, and I will admit, I did get a few wrong. I don't know whether I was tired or whatever. It was, to be fair, it was a mixture because I was following this pin out, but also I'd labelled the wiring already. So, when the sheet was telling me to do this, I was kind of like, well, this wire says this. So I kind of ignored it somewhere down the road, and it came back to bite me on the ass. So yeah, so as I said, I plugged it all in and it was not starting. Realised I did a few wires wrong and I put them back, blah blah blah, and then it started and then it died. And then what I found out is the fuel pump wasn't staying on while the car was cranking or when it had started. So when I open a door, the car does prime, and the car will prime with that'll do that without having an ECU in it anyway. So, that was irrelevant. There was something going on with the ECU talking to the engine or the car or whatever. So yeah, when I was cranking it, I could hit the fuel pump wasn't coming on. And then when I earthed one of the wires, you know, the fuel pump was working. So basically the ECU wasn't sending a signal to the fuel pump, or the relay, sorry, to turn on when needed. And yeah, so I was scratching my head for about 3 weeks, literally 3 weeks, trying to sort out this issue. And as I said, if we we'll take a look now. If we go to the car now, you'll see like look at the state of the wiring. I've had to pull it, and to be fair, I'm not going to say, you know, I've not put the car back together completely, but the wiring was a bit tidier. But I've had to pull it all apart, trying to find out what was going on. Can't remember what made me do it, but long story short, on the EMU black, you can change what you want the pins to do. So on the pinout that I'd got from the EMU website for the R32, it was saying, you know, this wire needed to go here. So I'd done that. And then I found out you could check what the pins were doing on the software. So I went on the software after asking, like, first of all, if anyone's watching this and I've pestered you about this car, I do apologize. There's only like 2 people I ever speak to, so you two, I do apologize if you are watching. So yeah, after going back and forth, I found out you could basically check what the pins were doing. So I think it was like G13, I think, or something, that was meant to be sending like a switched earth signal to the relay. It wasn't even assigned. It wasn't even doing anything. So this one wire has caused me to like rip all my hard work apart to find out what was going on. So yeah, I'm glad. I think I said in one of my videos I was going to do like the first startup review lot on YouTube. I'm so glad I didn't do that, because it would have been a very, very long YouTube video. So yeah, anyway, this wire, it was meant to be on like G13 or something like that. That, you know, that's probably not making any sense to any of you lot, but it was meant to be on this particular pin on the ECU, and it turns out it was assigned somewhere else, like on number 5 or something. So literally I put this pin onto number 5, and lo and behold, my fuel pump was working. And if we go over to the car now, fingers crossed it will actually start. It should start, because I've had it running anyway. So yeah, fuel pump. Oh, it's pumping then. So, up and running. So as you can imagine, I am very pleased with myself, mainly because I've redone the wiring, and yeah, it was quite hard work. I've never done anything like that before. I've practiced on my twin turbo, but I've never had it running and out and about. Obviously I've not had this out and about, but you know what I mean. So still loads to do. Actually, I'll show you what is left to do. So I think I mentioned in one of my previous videos the fuel lines. So where the fuel lines go, there's meant to be a little hole down there that was smoothed over, so I've had to redraw that. At the moment it's just a small hole. I do need to open it up a bit more. I also want some sort of hard lines done for the wastegate going to the boost controller, because obviously this isn't going to cut it. That's all just, everything here is just temporary, so you know, even the fuel lines and stuff. So yeah, I want some sort of hard lines done for that. What else? I need some sort of heat protector covering the manifold, and then I'm going to get the downpipe and the hot side of the turbo ceramic coated, I think, or I might go for this new thermo coating I've seen about. Seems to be very good, so I might go there. What else? So even where the heating matrix goes and the coolant lines run, they've been smoothed off as well. So at the minute I have just looped it, so I do need to think about whether I want to re-drill them holes or put some sort of aftermarket heater in the car. Sorry, you can get these like little small ones, but they do need to run off coolant lines, so I still would have to re-drill them holes anyway. The coolant expansion tank, if you're wondering why that blue rolls there, it's because it's holding it. Obviously because it's a custom one or an aftermarket one. There was like a bracket on the old car, but when I pulled it off it was welded on and it had all bent, so I've sent that off to be remade. So I'm just waiting to get that back. I think I mentioned before whether I was going to fit the servo, etc. I am going to go for the booster delete, simply because I will be putting the twin turbo kit onto this engine at some point once it's been fabricated. I mean, once the fabrication has been finished. The plan is to take it out of the scrap shell that it's in now, not this one behind me, it's in the other unit, and then bolt it to this. The idea was to get this up and running and use it, make sure I'm happy with it, and then have the fabrication work done to the twin turbo, and then unbolt it and pull it onto this engine, because this engine is forged and the one that the twin turbos are currently on is just a head spacer. So yeah, so when I had the new twin turbo manifolds made, the shell, I'd put a booster delete on there, and when the company made the manifolds, obviously they made them around that, so now I can no longer fit a OEM brake servo or anything like that, so I'm kind of being forced to fit the booster delete. And I thought, you know what, I might as well fit it to this shell, because the twin turbo is going to go to this shell anyway, and just saves me having to mess about in the future. What else? So I'm still waiting for my brakes, which is a bit annoying because I was told about 3 weeks, and I think we're on like the 5th or 6th week now. Yeah, I think it's been like 6 weeks. Obviously, you know, you got Corona and stuff, so whatever. The car's not ready anyway, so you know, as annoying as it is, I'm trying to just be calm and collective about it. I'm not going to out them because it gets me nowhere. No one even cares. They just forget, and you know, it's irrelevant. So yeah, so I'm waiting for my brakes back, and then I'm going to get all the brake lines done. The booster delete, I've sent that off with the expansion tank bracket to be modified as well. So the same person's going to sort that out for me. So I'm just waiting for that back. And then, yeah, I just need to tidy up the wiring, I think. Inside, as you see, it's an absolute mess. Obviously, need to put the dash back in and stuff like that. So, you know, there's still quite a lot to do. But I feel like I've come very far compared to where I was. Even just just getting it started. I know it might seem like a little thing for some people, but for me personally, it's a massive thing. Like I said, I'm doing all this on my own, so literally just with the help of Facebook and the internet and some YouTube videos. So yeah, I'm very proud of myself, and I do plan on documenting a bit more. Yeah, hopefully try and do some more videos. I did actually do a video on my red R32. I did a little story explaining where it came from, because there was an interesting story behind it, but I decided not to post it or upload it or whatever you call it, because I thought it was just a bit boring, to be honest. And I don't want to just make YouTube videos for the sake of making YouTube videos. I know I did say that I wanted to do one every week, but just have to be realistic. I don't want to, unless I've got a good update, I won't even make a YouTube video. For me personally, today is a milestone for me, so I thought I'd share this with you lot. I mean, if you do follow my Instagram, you've probably seen already that I did have it started. But even when I did that video, I still had a fueling issue. So it's literally today that I've resolved that issue. What else? So yeah, loads more to come on this. I've got a very, very good thing coming up for this red R32, which I plan on documenting from start to finish. If you don't know, the engine's currently out of that car because the change needed doing. And after driving around in the other red R32 that was turboed, that someone won for £25. Yes, it's been won now for £25. Someone won a 450 brake R32 turbo in red for £25. And if you want to know how you can win the next R32, which is actually behind me, looking very aggressive, for £13.50, go to www.vagrecycle.co.uk. I will leave the links in the description for all of that, including my Instagram, etc. But yeah, after driving that around, I just thought to myself, I cannot go back to having a NA R32. So yeah, so I've got something interesting coming for that red R32, hopefully at the end of the month, all being well. And like I said, I will document that. So yeah, so just if you like the video, hit like, subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to try and do more videos. I do need to pull my finger out a bit more and stop overthinking these videos, because I do tend to overthink too much. And I should have really documented the wiring and just like recorded like the struggles that I was going through, because it might have helped somebody else. But like I said, I do overthink a bit, and I think, oh, that was a bit boring. Like I said, I did do like a 20-minute video on this R32, and it was just me standing there talking, and I just personally thought it was boring. But anyway, so yeah, so loads to do on this, but it is running now, so I am absolutely over the moon. If you want to, tell you what, I'm probably going to do a little walk around and a video on this R32 that I'm giving away. It does end in 2 weeks, end of this month, October. So I do need to put my finger out with that as well if I do want to do a video. But yeah, massive spec on that. If you do want to enter for that, it's a massive spec. It's not turboed, but it has got a low mileage R32 engine in it now. It is an R32, but the engine's been replaced for a low mileage one, because the shell is quite high mileage. So it's got a genuine 76,000 mile engine in it. Chains are going to be done for the winter service. It's got a set of, don't know if you can see, rotor grids on it, 9.5J. It just looks, look at it. It's been painted previously as well, so the bodywork's in quite good nick. It is a bit dusty at the moment, but because it's been sat in the unit. TRC splitter, it's got Brembo LCR brakes on it. It's got H&R roll bars front and back. It's got a Miltech non-res exhaust and then a Miltech decap. And these custom headlights that I am not a fan of, but They do look pretty cool. I just don't like the person that made them. I'm not even getting into that this year. We're staying positive. So yeah, so what else? So yeah, lots to come anyway. I'm going to be finishing this, obviously, and I'm going to be doing some work on this red R32, and hopefully I'm going to start doing some reviews on the cars that I do get in for the competitions. And yeah, I've got a few ideas anyway. It's just me. I just need to pull my finger out and get a grip, basically. If you saw my last video, I was pretty much gassed up from doing another video with another YouTuber, and yeah, time just got the better of me, and I've just been busy. That wiring issue literally took it all out of me as well. So yeah, it's yeah, like I said, hit the like button, subscribe, and hopefully I'll be back again soon with an update on either one of these cars anyway, or something interesting. I won't be posting unless I've got something interesting to tell you. So please hit like, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of the week.